The chronicle of Henry of Livonia, written in Latin, is the only and most important written source about the history of the eastern Baltic region at the end of the 12th and in the first quarter of the 13th century. The chronicle describes the conquest and Christianization of the territories of today's Estonia and Latvia from 1186 to 1227.
Henry, the author of the chronicle, was a priest who came from northern Germany and travelled to the land of the Livonians as a missionary in 1205. The chronicler's written work contains, according to his own words, only that which he himself saw or heard from eyewitnesses and persons present at the events described. Modern historians regard the chronicle Henry as a most reliable author.
Why is this chronicle important for maritime archaeology? Because, among other things, there is a lot of information there about the sea and seafaring, about seamen and water vessels.
For example, we learn that the chronicler chose to, one-sidedly, characterize the sea as the place of danger, bringing about many sufferings. In the dangers of the seafaring, the posture of travelers was always depicted as passive. When it comes to water vessels, although Henry preferred to use the term ship, navi, he named a total of 10 types of water vessels in his chronicle. Of these, Henry uses the term piraticus only in connection with the local peoples, and kokones only in connection with the conquerors. It is generally understood that piraticus represented slender vessels of the Nordic shipbuilding tradition, very similar to Viking vessels, and kokones were cogs, one-masted, larger vessels with great width and flat bottom. When it comes to the people aboard watercraft and dealing with the dangers of the sea, it is possible to extract information about professional mariners. In fact, the chronicler of Henry of Livonia is the first written source mentioning the use of pilots in the Baltic Sea. For example, in the chronicler, we find a description of events where 2 seamen are mentioned by their exact profession. Ductore navis, that denotes a captain, the leader of the ship, and gubernator, that in the described context denotes a pilot. In that instance, both of these men were killed as they were making use of a forbidden marketplace. There is also another event described where local pilots, designated synonymously with terms of gubernator and rectore navis, these local pilots were prohibited to serve a certain knight, who therefore had to manage with his own men upon the strange and stormy sea. The chronicler of Henry of Livonia is a unique source for helping us closer to understanding, among other things, seafaring practices in the early medieval Baltic Sea region.